We gotta go get Troy. He got stuck today, like kind of bad. Actually, that's not true. That's not at all true. He got stuck yesterday so bad that he was still stuck today. Yep, that's the right one. So, while unsticking his truck, they broke it. So now we gotta haul it home. So we gotta get that off, check tires. Guess we can check the lights right now. That's why I turned them on. All our lights back here. Lights up there. And they're all on over here. Good. So we are gonna have to pull our oversized sign off too, because his truck's so long, the back of his truck, the underreach and all that's gonna overhang the back of my trailer. So that'll be in the way. Now, if you're wondering why we don't use the Zacklift to do this, I would love to. Been looking for a reason to use my Zacklift, but we can't on this one. Actually, that's also wrong. We totally could. I just really don't want to, because in order to tow it with the Zacklift, we'd have to pull the drive shaft out of it, and since the truck was buried like up past the frame where drive shaft is down in the mud, that's going to be a mess. The whole bottom side of that truck is going to be a disaster. And we also have to plumb into the air supply to air the thing up, and all the air fittings and air dryer and all that's also just caked over in mud. So don't want to be laying on the side of the road in the dark scraping mud off of everything to be able to hook up to it and tow it. So we can just put it on this and chain it down and not have to pull the dry shaft and not have to try to dig through the mud to get to the air supply. And then also we won't leave 4 miles of mud tracks down the road from the tires spinning it all off. We can put it on here, and I'll have to clean this off tomorrow, but that's no big deal. So we got to raise the landing gear. So I have an extra gas can up in my truck as well, but when I'm home, I don't use that one to fill it. Oh, it was way fuller than I thought. When I'm home, I don't use the one in my truck to fill it, because then that one won't be full when I need it. So I use the ones from home. Last order of business, check the tires. I already checked the truck before I brought it over here. So a lot of people ask what thumping the tires does. You feel it and you hear it. If they're all the same, they're all good. If one is like a, well, and then you hear a, oh yeah, here's a flat one over here. So, no? Oh, okay. Over here. Listen to the difference. See the difference? You can tell which one's flat. Now, of course, a hammer doesn't tell you how much air pressure is in the tire, and if they're all the same, technically they all could be low, but the chances of all 8 tires being the same amount of low is very low. So they're good. All right, look at that pretty bastard ready to go to work. So let's get rolling. All right, so we just stopped here at the alfalfa store, got some road tripping snacks, got back in the truck. We got here just before they close. They close at 8. It is like 7:55, so just in time, but alfalfa store saves the day again, so off we go. Okay, you are probably wondering, if I'm an off-road recovery guy and my buddy Troy has been stuck out on an off-road recovery job for days, why have I not gone out to help him? Well, that is because I am not a good off-road recovery guy. Pretty terrible one, in fact, at the moment, because I don't have any off-road rigs. I've got nothing for doing like actual off-road recovery. I've got my pickup with a winch on the front. That's it. Everything else is gone. As far as the off-road type stuff, I have a bone stock Jeep on tracks that make it do good in the snow. So I got that, but there's been no snow lately. It warmed up, it's been rainy, wet, wiped out all the snow, so instead it's been muddy, and mud is not something we have had to deal with in this area since I've been here. Mud is a very, very rare thing for me to deal with normally, but this year it's like all the calls I'm getting are like bottomless, soupy mud stuff out off in the desert and all these off-road trails that are normally snow, and I got nothing to go out there with. The track Jeep I have, the tracks I have are not made for mud. They'll destroy those things in like one recovery, so that's out. And then all I got other than that is my Ram sneaker truck, and that thing weighs 10,000 pounds on skinny 19.5 tires. It'll sink out of sight in a heartbeat. Little four-wheel drive wrecker, that's gone. It doesn't do good in that stuff anyway because it's so heavy. Blazer, gone. I have my silver Dodge on 37s, but that thing, its engine is done. It's burning oil at a very alarming rate, and I'm not comfortable taking that more than like to the alfalfa store and back because I'm afraid it ain't gonna make it home. So definitely not taking it way out in the middle of nowhere on a recovery. I've got nothing for that, and currently looking at options of what the best way to set myself up is, where I'm good for snow when we get the snow, mud if it's not, dirt, trails, rock, whatever, and I'm just not sure which route to go yet. But either way, even if I had something for off-road, I got nothing that can pull out Troy's big ass 6x6 when it's buried to the chassis. I mean, the Zacklift, yes, but the Zacklift can't get within 10 miles of the thing, so that doesn't do any good. So I've been staying in contact with him, checking on him, make sure, do you need me to bring him anything? Food, water, supplies, gear. He's been good on all of that. Asked me if I need a ride back, and he's been good. He fought it all last night, and then they brought an excavator in this morning, and they've been digging on it all day, and finally this evening just got it pulled out. But in doing so, sounds like they ripped the steering cooler out of it or broke the steering cooler line, something like that. He's got no more power steering, so they're gonna try to limp it out to the road with the help of the excavator to get around some of those super tight turns, and then when we get out to the road, we'll load it on the low bed here to haul it back to town. But I think we got, from where I'm at right now, we got about probably 2 hours to get to where he is, whatever it takes to load up and all that. 2.5 hours back to Bend, unload all that, and then I got half hour, 45 minutes home from there. So gonna be a long night, but yeah, I'm currently in the debating stage and just keep my eye out for like an actual good off-road recovery rig that kind of is the do-it-all vehicle. I got the Willys wagon. It's way too light for doing like all this deep mud stuff, and like, cause everything I'm being called for is 1-ton pickups and stuff buried to the frame out in mud holes. The wagon ain't gonna touch that stuff. Well, I don't want to rip the wagon in half trying to touch that stuff. I should be more clear. That's the problem. I don't think that wagon chassis would hold up to that type of stuff. So yeah, I got nothing for that. So I'm trying to figure out what to do and what's a good fit for a vehicle that's kind of an all-around. I would love something that I can drive to and from, so I'm not have to haul it everywhere. Is capable in the snow, is capable in mud, the dirt trails and roads around here, the desert sand, is big enough and heavy enough to do some pulling and actually like have the power to pull, the weight to sit still and winch when you're winching, but also not so heavy that you're just sinking it and burying it in this type of stuff. So I don't know. We're still thinking, and now I got 2 hours to think, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, what we do now, that truck is in the road, so I can't pull in there. It's just that one lane and they're not here yet, so I think there's a wide spot at the top of this hill. Alright, back behind us is best bet. Means we gotta figure out how to go turn around. You can't see me because it's dark. There I am. I was Google mapping. Looks like back behind us, maybe a half a mile back from that road, there's a wide spot I might be able to get into and load. I hope, because well, there's another one down farther, so you might have to limp it down the highway a bit. Gonna want to get off this turn. I'm not in a great spot. Okay, let's go find a turnaround. Holy crap, man, I got this thing in here. I don't know how, but I did. And you can see I drug right here coming in, which is not good. So let me crank you guys up some on your light. I am not, yeah, that was ugly, but it got here. So I come down from this way so that I be the side I could see backing in here. Mile of highway that way you could see, like 5 miles of highway that way you could see. Nobody coming in any direction. So I pull over here and I start to work my way back. I got all my lights and such on. Man, as soon as I started to get committed to it, here come a truck come flying over. So I went for it. You see, we got what, 2 feet there on this road and like 8 feet here, but I missed all of it. So I was just trying to get the hell out of the road and backed off in here, and I got here. So it looks like there is actually enough room. I gotta pull back out of here and get straight. I was just hoping that wasn't like a drop off over there. Oh, that was dumb, but I made it. All right, so we gotta look. I might be able to back into here. Now, here, if I back in here anywhere and hit a soft spot and stick the truck at all, I'm not as nearly as concerned about it because there's a big ass excavator and a 6x6. I don't know, 10 miles off that way, working their way this way. This is concerning. That looks like it's soft here. Man, that was a move right there. All right, I think I'm gonna back down, just kick this trailer off over. I gotta pull out. Kick the trailer off over in here. I'm concerned about dragging on the way out. We'll see. Okay, I chickened out and just backed it straight in here, right up tight beside this truck where it looked much more solid, instead of trying to get over here that looks softer. And I am glad I did, because if I would have got stuck over here, I would not have gotten out tonight, because Troy just called. They had some bigger problems out there. They found another soft spot trying to get around a turn. Sounds like his truck is buried again, his 6x6. So it's bad enough they're calling it for the night. They're leaving the truck out there, the excavator out there. They all hopped in a Jeep and are coming back out now in the Jeep. And then I'm gonna load Troy up and give Troy a ride back to town. And then we're gonna try this again tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, we'll bring all this back out tomorrow. I don't know if this is gonna stay here or not, and try to get it out again. They said we need more gear, bigger ropes, more chains, and daylight. So that's the plan now. We wait here and just look off into the desert, waiting to see headlights. So update, been here about 30 minutes waiting. There must be a ways out there. I just been editing thumbnails and finishing out videos for you guys to watch later, or This will actually be ones that you saw before this one, because you know the order of things. Yeah, so just hanging out in the heater, getting some work done and waiting. See that right there? I believe those are headlights coming towards us out of the desert. Yeah, well, they're either that or like aliens or something, but either way works for me. Oh, and this is a perfect way to show. I always tell people how big the beast is. That's why we call it the beast. And no one ever like gets it until you see it in person, but up here is the roof of the beast. And down there is the roof of a Kenworth. It's a big truck. Like hood of the beast, hood of the Kenworth. Granted, this looks bigger because it's closer, but still. We go straight on for straight on. The front of his, or the top of his hood at the front, hits at the bottom of my air cleaners. Yeah, this is a big truck. Multiple lights coming. Lots of aliens. Bottom of window. Bottom of window. Barely over my head. 5 miles over my head. It's big. Just, it's fine. I'll clean it out later. Don't worry about it. Troy's a little messy. Excavator's coming out, loading up on the trailer. Yeah. I guess a winch cat is coming out tomorrow. You ready to go home? Oh, yeah. Oh, see if I can make it out of here without bottoming out. I drug on the way in, but I think if I short it, it'll be all right. You know, on this highway, nobody's coming until you get sideways across this road to back in. Yep. Yeah, it drags a little bit. So today we're going to help out a customer who has found themselves in a bit of a bind, about an hour out into the desert in the middle of nowhere out there. They're pulling a horse trailer west here towards Bend, I believe. Truck broke down, pickup, you know, and it needed towed into a shop about an hour into town from where they're at. Now, the tow to just get the pickup towed, not a big deal. The tow to have a bigger truck come out, not this big, but bigger, to tow the truck and the trailer together, that was a little bit too much money, especially when they're looking at a big repair bill coming up as well. So it looked like a super simple fix, so they decided to leave the trailer at the rest area. Some other family member was able to meet up with them and stay there with them, and have the truck towed into the shop. Well, it is an easy fix, except for you can't get the parts. So it's gonna be a few days to get the parts. You can't leave the horse trailer in the rest area for a few days. So now we are gonna head out, go get the horse trailer and tow that into town for them, so that the trailer is near the truck. So when the truck's done, they can go about their merry way, and also so they're not stuck an hour out in the middle of nowhere desert. So that's what we're doing today, and thanks to you guys watching this video. We're also going to do it at no charge just to help them out. One question I've got a lot of, surprising amount of actually, is why did I pull the canopy off of this truck? And this is why. You see the oversized signs on it. I happen to get myself a couple of big ass trailers that need pilot cars when they go running around, so I needed to set this truck up to be the pilot. So that's why this is on here, because it's been a pilot car lately. And I know I showed you in another video pilot car sign that mounts up on the roof here with the canopy on, but that sign is like a portable one that goes on any vehicle, and I need it for either my Willys wagon or the old Dodge car when those are the pilot car. So this one is like made to built into the headache rack for a truck, and it kind of works the same. You just pull this pin out here, grab your handle and flip up your sign, and then flag holders here, over there, strobe lights, the flags and stuff are all in here. And then this truck's got CB and all that stuff in it, so then you're a pilot car. And then when you're done, you just Oh, that pin goes there to hold it up. And when you're done, sign down, drop your pin, pick up your pin, put it back. I don't know why I fight with this pin so much. Come on, there we go. And then now you're no longer a pilot car. And then also to be able to pull off the gooseneck ball or the fifth wheel, I have a fifth wheel hitch that goes in here too. I need to do that a good bit, like what we're doing today, because this is a gooseneck horse trailer, so that is why I don't have the canopy on this truck. Two other things real quick, I just remembered. One, I was so freaking tempted to take the Zacklift to go tow this thing, because I do have the gooseneck adapter for the underreach there, just so that this thing gets out of the yard, because it's been so long since I got to run this setup, and I really want to, but it's not super practical to tow a little horse trailer, so it's just a little 2-horse aluminum trailer. Oh, and there's no horses in it, by the way, to clarify that. So we're gonna be logical and take the pickup. But speaking of illogical, I've told you guys my problem about not having like a real off-road recovery rig, and I need something heavy enough to like sit and winch and do some pulling, light enough to get around decently off-road, something on some bigger tires so you can drive it to and from like safely and comfortably and not have to haul it everywhere. And I got to looking and thinking maybe the answer has been sitting in front of me this whole time. Instead of buying a built up or something rig, why not use this? This is a maybe. I haven't committed to this yet, but this truck here, these are like a 33-ish tire, somewhere in there. I have 35s for it, and I have trimmed the fenders, as you can see right there. This truck will fit 37s as it sits. I've had them on it in the past and they cleared no problem. This truck on 37s would actually do pretty good once you air down and all that. But we can go even farther than that, because American Expedition Vehicles, their company makes like aftermarket crap, they make a fender kit where you basically cut all this fender out, and then they have a new fender flare that goes on and a whole new inner fender liner in there, and then you can fit 40s on this truck without having to lift it up crazy high at all. Basically just as it sits, you can put 40s on it. This truck on 40s would actually probably be a pretty good recovery rig for like the type of stuff I do around here. Get out in the snow, airway down, get out in the snow, go out in these sandy desert roads. Gets a little muddy. 40s on this thing with the power it has. Already got the winch on the front. Add another winch on the back, and then as a huge bonus, my off-road recovery rig would have an underreach on it. So I would have a diesel 1-ton pickup on 40s that can cruise up and down the road no problem, front and rear winches, and an underreach to tow. That would probably be a really, really good setup. But do I want to cut this truck apart when it's so versatile for so many things like pilot car and towing gooseneck trailers, towing normal trailers, all that stuff? Or do I buy like the Ram Power Wagon, not a new one, like an older one of course, but a Ram Power Wagon that already has low gears, full lockers and all that stuff in it, and you can fit 37s on a bone stock, do the same fender kit and put 40s. This one I would still have to, if I did 40s, I have to re-gear, and then you're going to put lockers in it and all of that. So do I sacrifice this truck to make it an off-road recovery rig? Or do I basically leave this truck as it is, because it's very useful as it is, and buy like an older Power Wagon that all it needs is the fenders and 40s stuck on it? I don't know, but what I do know is we're gonna go tow a horse trailer. So let's do that. Casey, it's 5 minutes into the video and you haven't even done anything yet. Yes, I did. I talked a lot. Let's go. guessing that's our trailer. Okay, we just got her dropped off here. Not wanting to be on video in the situation she's in, but I'm happy we were able to help out. So that's kind of all we'll say about that. I don't like putting people's business out, especially when they don't want it out. So yeah, should be good now. So it's all taken care of, set up. Should have her truck back soon and can continue on her trip that she's going on. Oh, we did not take her to the shop, I should clarify. The horse trailer, they're traveling, two of them, one in an RV and one pulling the horse trailer behind the pickup, like moving. So the horse trailer's just got the stuff in it. So they got the RV and the horse trailer. The pickup broke down, so we took them to the state park campground. We have the RV and the trailer side by side now, so they have they're at a campground, not at a shop parking lot. And then when they are done, when the pickup's done, they camp out here till it's done, and then, I'm saying this really weird, but the pickup's done, then they can go home. Yeah, sorry, my mind's like, okay, on to the next thing.